So, Pilates is all the rage at the moment, whether it's going into a wellness studio and doing it on a reformer, or even from the comfort of your own home on a mat. And for good reason, Pilates certainly does have some great benefits. However, there are so many Pilates gurus, instructors, and fans out there that are promising you the world, saying it is the absolute best way to lose fat and tone up. Now, I'm sorry to break it to you, but it's actually not. So today I'm going to be reviewing Pilates and I'm going to be explaining why it's not actually the best way to get results with your body. And if you stick around to the end, I'll be explaining what you should be doing instead to get ongoing results with toning up and losing fat. But before we get started, my name is Dan, I'm from Get Gym Fit, and we are here to review products, professionals, and services in the fitness industry, explaining to you why they do or don't work, so you can make more informed decision when it comes to your purchases during your fitness journey. So first up, we're going to be going through the great benefits that Pilates actually does give you, because it's not all bad, that's for sure. Don't get me wrong, Pilates is great in some regards. First up, Pilates is fantastic for beginners because it teaches you how to move, how to activate the right muscles such as your core muscles, your glute muscles. It really helps you in your body awareness. During my time as a fitness coach at a girls' college, I saw hundreds of young women coming through the ranks, and the ones that had done Pilates were so good in the gym. They moved fantastically, they had really good body awareness, and they just picked up things so much quicker when it came to me teaching them how to lift weights properly. So for beginners, getting started with Pilates is an amazing thing to do. And it really builds a great foundation of strength and movement that you really can just do anything from. The other great thing about Pilates is it does give you some preliminary strength benefits. However, it's more geared towards strength endurance. If you take a look at a Pilates workout, most of the time you're working for many reps, more than kind of 12, 15, 20. You're working for 45 seconds, a minute. You're not actually lifting anything kind of heavy. So it is really good for kind of that basic level of strength and that foundational strength and movement. The other great thing about Pilates is you really can do it from anywhere, whether it's watching a YouTube video from your hotel room, whether it's going to a park and getting a mat and doing some Pilates there, or whether you like to actually go into a wellness studio and get led by an instructor on a reformer. The reality is that it is a really flexible training method and you can kind of do it anywhere, which limits kind of the barrier to getting started, which again is fantastic if you're just starting out. And the reality is that Pilates will give you some basic benefits and the start of some benefits in your body. So if you're doing it in a very consistent way, multiple times a week for several months, you might see that your muscles have grown a little bit, you've lost a little bit of fat. Now, if you're happy with the level of change in your body, then by all means keep going with Pilates, and I don't want to advise you otherwise. However, if you're still frustrated and you feel like your progress has stagnated, which it probably has, I'd suggest that it's probably time to do some training that's a little bit more challenging rather than Pilates. Which brings me to the next section. What limitations or downsides does Pilates present in terms of if you're wanting to lose fat and tone up and gain lean muscle on your body? Now, the first kind of limitation that Pilates presents is that it's not great at burning lots of calories. Now, calories, obviously we need them to survive, but at the end of the day, if you're trying to trim down and look more lean and toned, you need to be burning quite a lot of energy on a daily basis. So next up, Pilates doesn't really elevate your metabolism. Now, the reality is if you're doing some sort of strength training, and by strength training, I mean kind of lifting some heavier weights for, a set of 6 or 8, which we'll go into in a moment. So heavy kind of strength training, that and HIIT as well. So doing intervals like sprinting up a hill, walking back, sprinting up a hill, walking back. That kind of training really spikes your metabolism post session. So you'll actually be burning a lot more energy and calories in the next kind of 48 up to even 72 hours post that workout, whereas you're not getting that same kind of benefit from a Pilates workout. The next issue with Pilates is that you'll find that your strength levels really start to plateau after a few months, especially in your lower body. At the end of the day, there's only so many squats or lunges that you can do before you really need to start adding some sort of resistance, whether that's a band, whether that's a bar, to the movement to keep on getting stronger. And the reality is that getting stronger is the foundation of seeing ongoing results with your body. If you can still do the same amount of push-ups as you could several months ago and you're not really progressing, you're not actually going to be seeing many more changes to your body. So you need to look at how you're going to progress that and continually chase getting stronger. And the other issue with Pilates, which I have kind of touched on, is that it doesn't really work on muscular strength. It more prioritizes muscular endurance. So again, it does more kind of your 10, 15, 20, 25 reps kind of in a set, rather than kind of proper strength training, which is, in a moment we'll go into it, no more than kind of 10 reps in a set. So what's the solution? Pilates isn't optimal. You haven't seen the results that you've been looking for. So what can you do instead to really start to see those physical changes in your body long term? But before we jump into it, please hit the like and subscribe button if you're getting value out of this video, so we can spread it to more fitness beginners and people who are hitting plateaus in their journey. So at the end of the day, in order to look more toned, you actually need to focus on building your muscles. A toned body is one that has lean muscle tissue on it. So toning is two things: building muscle and losing fat. And if you don't actually prioritize the building of the muscle part, which is strength training, you'll never actually get that tone figure that you're probably after. The reality is that many people, at least in my experience that I've coached, especially young women, kind of get a little bit freaked out when they're doing strength training in the gym because they see all this blood rush into their muscles. The reality is that's only during the workout. After the workout, your muscles will swell back down as they don't need that blood supply, as they don't need the same sort of blood supply to actually fuel the muscles. And once you're done, you'll return back to that normal size and you'll be starting to build more muscle over time. So you want to focus on getting stronger. When I say that, I mean, in a set, you don't want to be working more than kind of 10 reps as a maximum. You want to be doing a set of 6 reps. You want to be doing a set of 8 reps. And you want to, as you approach that last rep in the set, say the 5th, the 6th rep, you want it to be quite fatiguing, like you can almost like you can't quite get that last rep out. Next up, you really want to prioritize adding external loads to movements that you're doing. So for instance, if you're doing a squat, putting a bar on your back with some plates, looking at using kettlebells, dumbbells, and even bands and stuff like that, actually starting to add external resistance, especially in your lower body movements, to your exercises. Next up, you need to really focus on compound movement. Compound movements are things like deadlifts, back squats, chest press or bench press, doing lat pull downs, seated rows. They're movements that have multiple joints at once moving and many different big muscle groups working together to produce the exercise or produce the movement. So hit the like button if you've got value out of today's content, and also feel free to comment below. We're only here to help. We're not here to tell you something's right or wrong. We're just here to shape your ideas, educate you so you can make the most informed decisions in fitness that you possibly can.